So just getting off the list and the ratings and the rankings here, just looking at the 2022 season, we're all going to name off 3 schools for sure of being in college football playoff contention: Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Put Clemson very close. What teams are intriguing you, though, that may not reach a college football playoff, or maybe they crash the party and we get a new team in this year? You know, as you look through the 5 major conferences and beyond that, who are you intrigued by? Who's a wild card?
Yeah, well, I think all of us can agree that Alabama and Ohio State are the two front runners to win it all this year. But a team that has really stuck out to me, and I think I was the first person to put them in the playoff, was NC State. And when you look at NC State's roster, Devin Leary comes back, a great underrated quarterback. Their whole defense comes back. That was the second best defense in the ACC behind Clemson. And they're the best overall team in the ACC, in my opinion. You look at Wake Forest, they've got a great offense, but their defense is not very good. Clemson probably has the best defense, maybe in the country, incredible defensive line, but we don't know what their issues are with quarterback. I mean, is DJ Uyunglele, is he going to play like he did last year? I mean, he didn't look good in the spring game, so I don't know. It's yet to be seen. So I really like NC State here to win the ACC. Another team that I really like is Utah. I mean, if you look at last year's season, the way they played after Cameron Rising became quarterback changed significantly. I don't think they lose a game. I guess the Oregon State game, but I don't think they lose. They maybe lose one game. I mean, they just knocked the socks off of Oregon twice. So this is the best year for a Pac-12 team to make the college football playoff. And the most important game is that game week 1 when Utah goes down to the Swamp and plays Florida, because they have to win that game if they want to make the playoff.
Yeah, make the playoff and get some respect for the conference, of course. Yeah. Aside from LSU and UCLA, and of course LSU finished 6 and 7, so that week 1 win for the Bruins didn't turn out to be as much for the Pac-12. And of course, Oregon's probably posted the best win in the conference in the last, since a playoff appearance, 2014 or 2016 going, and then they couldn't back it up and finish it out. But yeah, the Pac-12 needs some serious credential boosting, credibility outside the conference. And Utah going to Florida and then hoping that Florida has a decent season, maybe 8-4, would help tremendously.
Absolutely.
John, how do we put together top 50 long snappers?
Well, so
those guys are all pretty accurate, aren't they?
Yeah, no, yeah. You look at the spin rate. You look at you look for guys that didn't. Long snappers are the guys that you don't really want to know their name, because if you do know their name, that means they probably snapped the ball over a punter's head. There's awards for long snappers. I forget what it's called, but there's finalists, and I believe the Tulsa guy won the best long snapper award last year. So I look at, for those kind of rankings, I look at my rankings from last year to this year and just kind of gauge, okay, who's returning, who's transferred, and then just kind of compile that list together. And I love that list because that list gets a ton of attention because nobody talks about long snappers. You wouldn't believe the feedback I get in my DMs from long snappers' parents or coaches, and just the long snappers saying, "Hey man, thank you so much for appreciating us. No one ever talks about us. This is awesome." So that's the reason I do the list. Whether it's accurate or not, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's somewhat accurate, but yeah, it is. That's a hard one to rank.